Hey, what is up guys, I'm Exteria, and at the time of recording, it's been about 3 days since PBE has been out for set 14, and I know some of us are kinda lost on what comps to play, so here is a video of comps to try out in the PBE servers. Starting off with our 1-cost comp, which is Kog'Maw Reroll, and the best opener is to have a Kog'Maw, with an Alistair, Mundo to get that Bruiser, and you throw in Kindred for the rapid fire for Kog'Maw. The direction you want to play this comp is unless you have a 2-star Kog'Maw for whatever reason, or if you have a bow to make that Rage Blade since it's best in slot item. And your main tank is going to be an Alistair, since you know they're both 1-cost units, it's pretty easy to 3-star them. And having an even shroud on him to have that armor break is really nice, and then some sort of anti-heal on the board. Like you can put red buff on Kog'Maw, it's fine as well. But Sunfire would be preferable since you want to put more heavy AD items on Kog'Maw, such as Deathblade, Renar's Hurricane, Giant Slayer, IE, just whatever you can find on him with Winsu's Rage Blade. And if you want to, feel free to 3-star Kindred. If you can't, then you could just use Zeri later down the line, and then to fill up the rest of the board, when you level up, you can throw in either more Boombots, because Boombots is very strong in the current meta, or if you want to, you can throw in more Bruisers. In the end result, at level 8, you have 4 Boombot and 4 Bruiser. Another 1-cost comp we can play is Shaco Reroll. This is fairly easy to play. If you don't know how to play it, the best way to do it is to have a Shaco 2 opener with a sword, and this allows you to have a Mundo on the board since they're both Slayers. For the best openers to have extra more Bruisers, or you can have Syndicates in, so you can power up your Shaco, so he can just one-shot everything. If Shaco starts off with an IE, or even like a Bloodthirster or something like that, then he can get stacks early, and the more early stacks you get, the more damage Shaco will get later down the line. For the rest of the board is all Slayers, and then the 2 Syndicate units you want to use is Braum and Darius because they synergize really well with the board. Fairly simple, fairly easy. Next up we got is our 2-cost comps, which is Leblanc and Ekko Reroll. This comp is actually really powerful at the moment, and I've been seeing it win a lot of games. The opener you want to do is to have a Leblanc and an Ekko. Most of the time that's not going to happen, but if you do get it, just fill it up with street demons such as Mundo and Zyra. If you can't find LeBlanc, just have Zyra as the item holder and throw in +1 Bruiser, like for example Alistair. When you play level 6, the main units you want to use is LeBlanc, Ekko, Vi, J4, Yuumi, and then +1 of these 4-cost units, whichever you can find. If you can't find them, having a Mundo over Nico is fine. And once you 3-star LeBlanc and Ekko, Vi is not necessarily 3-star, but if you do it, it's good. Then you want to hit fast 8 and just throw in the other 4-cost units. This board synergizes really well together since you have Zed and J4 as Slayers. J4 is also a Vanguard with Vi, and Vi, Zed, and LeBlanc are all Cyphers, and then just throw in the rest of the board, which is Strategist. And then when you hit level 9, just throw out Samira because you get Street Demon and Amp. Another 2-cost comp we can play is Graves Reroll. This is one of my favorite comps to play, and I actually win with it a lot. Our best opener we can do is to have a Graves, and if we have a sword opener with Graves, this means we're going to snowball pretty hard with him. And a unit that synergizes really well with him would be an Alistair. Since they're both Golden Ox, you can easily gain some early Golden Ox stacks. In order to do that is you have to spend some gold a little bit. If you don't know how to do it, it's fine. You don't have to stack early if you don't want to risk it, since it costs a lot of gold to do it in early game. And since we need more frontline, we get someone like Mundo since he's a Bruiser, and Mundo synergizes with Shaco really well. So this is a pretty strong opener you can do. If you can't find Shaco, you could just use whatever backline unit you can find. To play the board at level 6 is to have a Graves, a Rost, a Rengar, a J4, a Varus, and a Senna, since we can get extra AD, and we also get more Divinity Corp with Rost. The main units you want to 3-star is obviously Graves and a Rost. This isn't his BIS items, but this is what I like to build, which is Bloodthirster, Titans, and QSS. I see other builds such as IE, Hodge, and QSS is fine as well, or even something like IE, Hodge with QSS is also okay. It's just whatever items you can find for him that's Bruiser types. And then when you hit level 8, just throw out Vex and Urgot if you can. Next up we got is our 3-cost comps, and this comp is also pretty fun to play. It's a different type of executioner comp like it was with the Graves reroll. This is Rengar with Varus instead. The good thing about this comp is that you can play either Exotech or you can either play Street Demon, just depending on which one you have as a carry first. For example, if you have Rengar as the main carry, then you want to play for Street Demon to power up the Rengar. If not, then if you have a good item for Varus with Exotech, then you play more Exotech units, so you can have that Varus item to roll the boards. Our best openers we can do here is to have either Shaco, Mundo, Darius, and Twist of Fate. So we have that Syndicate and Bruiser opener. If you have an AP opener, you can do whatever AP opener you can find, but most of the time when I play this comp, I look out for Rengar carry, since Varus can just use Spirit Shojin, and whatever other items is fine, and Rengar is kind of picky with his items, so that's the reason why I like to do an AD opener for this comp instead. For our main tank, it could be either Nico or Sejuani, just put the items on them, whichever one's level 2 first, or whichever one you're playing as a main carry first, which is Varus or Rengar, then you just put those items on that main tank. To fill up the whole board, you have to hit level 9 with this, sadly, but if you reroll level 7 for 3-star Varus and Rengar, is potentially with Graves, Vex, and then the other two, either Exotech or Street Demon, like I said earlier, depending on which one your carry is. And that's basically about it. This comp is actually really strong, since you have 2 high damage units, and they'll just delete everything. Another popular 3-cost comp I've been seeing is Draven and Galio. This actually looks really fun to play. I haven't tried it out myself yet, but I actually know how to play this comp just by watching. The opener you want to do is to have Rapid Fire, which is Kog'Maw, Kindred, and Kog'Maw synergizes really well with Skarner, so you're going to do a Vanguard opener with Vi. Unless you have a Cypher opener, you can do that as well, and then cash out later, and then pivot into this board. But if you're going to do that, you might as well play Zeri Bastion, which I'll show after this comp. If you do decide to play this comp, at level 7, you want to play with Draven, Galio, Zed, Zeri, Sejuani, Jax, and then +1 Bastion. It is going to be hard to find Sejuani, Zed, and Zeri at level 7, but if you do find them, it's a huge power spike, since they all synergize together. And then level 8, just throw out Senna. Basically about it. Just 3-star Draven, 3-star Galio, then fast 8 or 9, and then you're good to go. For our 4-cost comp, we have Zeri Bastion, which is a comp I was talking about earlier. And to play this opener would be to have a Jhin Kindred with Jax and Neferi, or Jax +1 Bastion. The reason why Neferi is because you get Exotech, so you can power up Jhin more. Or if you want to do it this way, which is I do a lot, is to have a Cypher opener instead, lose streak as hard as you can, and then cash out to play this board at level 8. Potentially, it's just all Bastion with a Draven, and then a Zeri. Pretty simple, pretty easy. The main ones you want to look for is Jax and Sejuani, because you get Exotech, so you could do double Rage Blade with an IE Zeri, or if you have a good Exotech item on her, just put 1 Rage Blade, 1 IE, and put the Exotech item on her. And this is a tank Exotech item, to put on Sejuani, and just go double Rage Blade on Zeri. This comp is very easy to play, and I've been winning a lot with this comp, because how simple it is, and how much damage you do. Another strong 4-cost comp that's also very easy to play is Aphelios Vanguard. This comp has technically the same opener as the last one, and the way you play it is literally just 4 marksmen with 4 Vanguards. The main ones you want to play is what you see on the screen, because they all synergize pretty well together, since Aphelios is a Golden Ox with J4, and then Ross is a Divini Corp, so you get more armor and magic resist for your whole board, and Leona, Silas, and Zaya, they all give Anima Squad, so you can have the extra DPS, and these two can have extra tank. Very easy to play, and is also a really strong comp to win with. Next up we got is our 5-cost comp, which is Urgot Bruisers. For the opener you want to do is to have a Vayne, since she's very powerful, to make you hit level 8 as fast as you can, and you just put whatever bruisers you can find on the board, such as Mundo, Alistair, and Darius. Mainly Mundo because he's a Slayer with Vayne, and when you hit level 8, you just want to throw in all the bruisers. If you can't find an Urgot, you can just keep the Vayne, or you can play with Zeri instead for Zeri 2. Once you get level 9, then you can find Urgot, transfer the items over, and Urgot will just decimate everything since he has high amounts of damage. And for level 9 unit, you can throw out Garen, or you can throw out Zac. It's really easy since Cho'Gath is very, very strong. All you need to do is to put a Redemption on him, and whatever tank items you can find. He will actually just delete boards, and he's super tanky because he'll just keep casting nonstop, since he's 6 Bruiser, is going to have a high amounts of HP. He'll last long enough for Urgot to kill everything. And our last for fun comp, which actually does a lot of damage, is Garen with the Legendary board. The best items to put on him is to have a Bloodthirster, Titans, and then plus whatever. You could do double Titans, which I see him do lots amount of damage with. And the reason why this comp is strong is because Garen can also put extra buffs for the other units, such as Samira, and potentially either Zac or Renekton, whichever one hit level 2, or even Viego. And you want to use these specific units because they all synergize really well together. And that's about it. This is actually a pretty fun troll comp to do, and you will just delete boards of Garen. And that is it for the set 14 PBE comps to try out. Now, I know these comps are not going to be too broken when the set is live, because this is literally the 3rd day of the set, so this is all what I know so far, but I will try to make more comp videos out as soon as I can. If you have any questions, or if you want to tell me about a specific comp, I could try it out and maybe make a video of it. Until then, I'll see you guys on the next one. Later.